Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Furry Valley podcast. This is episode 7, where we're discussing Furry Valley and its past, present, and future. Today, I'm speaking with Simba about the topic. And how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good today, DGV. How are you doing?
I've had a very long weekend at a convention, but I'm doing very, very well.
You sound absolutely exhausted, bless you.
It was a fun drive,
Did you
but
have a good time?
I'm here and I made so much fun. There are many pictures that will be shared.
Videos. Got some
Videos
good stuff.
as well.
Good,
Yes.
good.
Well, all right. We should get on and start poking you about you stuff. So, Simba, are you ready to talk about all of the things that are Furry Valley?
Ready as I'll ever be.
All right, cool. So, Furry Valley, formerly known as Furry Menagerie, as many of you know, has gone through a lot of changes over this past year, but this community has been around for quite some time. If I recall that, did it always start on Discord, and has it been on this platform for the entirety of its existence?
No, Furry Menagerie actually isn't the original name itself. We started about 14 years ago, 2005. We originally came from a website called Furry to Furry, and people there wanted to play RuneScape with other people who played RuneScape. And Paco's here. That mic. Paco, can you deafen? That's like really distracting. Thank you. I'll start again. I'll start again with that.
Yeah.
So we weren't actually originally called Furry Menagerie at all. We've been around since 2005. Got a long history. We originally met on a site called Furry to Furry. There were a number of furries on there who played RuneScape, wanted to meet other people to play with. And back then, it wasn't so much instant messenger based. Okay, we had things like Yahoo Messenger, we had AIM, but it was mostly
the days of AIM.
Yeah, closed now.
Gosh.
with the voice chat feature on AIM and the send file feature, which never worked. Apparently, rubbish platforms. But so yeah, we used to. I guess that quite naturally made forums higher value back then. So we used to hang out on there and go to a place called Yanil in RuneScape, just fletch together, just hang out and stuff. And from there, we became the Fur Chat or the Furry Chat. Eventually, Jagex, the owners of RuneScape, released a friends chat system, which allowed us to organize ourselves a little better. And I mean, until then, we just hung out in a bank together and hoped that we'd be on at the same time. Once we got the friends chat, we were able to.
How many people were with you guys at that point in time?
So I wasn't there right at the very start, but I was within sort of the first few weeks, and there were probably, when I joined, between about 5 and 10 people. Honestly, I don't remember it too well because, of course, at the time I just figured, well, it's just furries I hang out with. I never really expected it to become such a big thing, and I never expected to lead it. Back then I was very young and I was very much a follower. I just do what I was told, and but yeah, it developed through the Furry Chat, the Furry Clan, and we slowly grew, and eventually they released a clan chat feature, which was like a sort of friends chat on steroids, and that gave us a lot more functionality, a lot more things we could do. And that also had a maximum of 500 people, so we started growing from that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Expected to max out the queue in a month, right?
Well, back then, because we were RuneScape only, it wasn't that big. When I went off to university in 2000 and was it late 2000s? I can't remember exactly when. But at that time we had it must have been about 30 to 40 regular people. And I was offered leadership when I went to university a couple of months beforehand, and I basically said, well, I'd like to, but I know I'm going to be busy for the next 3 years, and I can't really give what's required to be given. And I graduated, and I came back and everyone had disappeared. It was really frightening. There was no one in the furry chat, no one in the furry clan. And I hung out in there for about a month, rather confused. And one person logged in eventually and said, "Simba, why are you here?" I'm like, what do you mean, why am I here? Why isn't everyone else here? What happened to everyone? And apparently, while I'd been gone, they had integrated this clan chat feature, and everyone had moved over to one of these. And I hadn't been playing, so I didn't know. I didn't have any idea. So I was moved over from this old friends chat to the clan chat, and then I obviously joined that immediately.
So you're telling me for like a month you logged in daily and just sat around and was like, where are all the people?
It wasn't even that I logged in daily. I was logged in 8 to 10 hours a day, every day, thinking, where are my friends? Where the hell have you guys all gone? I figured that, my easiest explanation was it's been 3 years. I guess everyone's just stopped playing. Because people, by that time, the game had been out must have been over 10 years. So I think, I was sad, but yeah, it was nice to meet everyone. And of course, in those 3 years, there were a load of new furries who turned up. So when I moved over to the clan chat, which was called Furry Menagerie at that time, there must have been about 110 or so at that time. And while I'd been gone, Furry Menagerie was made of a product of two other RuneScape clans. One was the Furry Chat, the Furry Clan, and the other was called Rawgasm. And Jagex didn't like Rawgasm's name because it's a
Rawgasm. Very edgy.
Yeah. We were all young once. But Jagex didn't like their name, and so the leaders of those two clans basically got together and created Furry Menagerie, and the person who was sort of standing lead for the Furry clan at the time became the lead of Furry Menagerie, and I knew him already, and I knew a bunch of the other higher people in the clan already. But yeah, that was probably, that must have been 2010 or 2011, and not long after that, I took over as leader in Easter 2012, so that would be coming up to 7 years now. God, 7 years, it feels like a lifetime.
It does when you're dealing with us every day. So,
well, this is all modern history. What we've got at the moment on, your question started about Discord. The Discord that we've got is only 2 years old. And we were RuneScape only until 1 year ago. So at the time we had perhaps 200. When I took over as leader, we had 150 people.
Yeah.
But not all of those were active. And I think when we created the Discord, maybe we had 100 or so active. And when we branched into other games, we had maybe 200 active.
Yeah. And how many people do we have today?
Across all platforms, our reach is somewhere about 12 to 15,000. So yeah, and that's across games. We've got 19 game sections. It's really, really quite something. And I think a year ago we had about 200 active people, 200 RuneScape players.
So I can't imagine 200 RuneScape players, let alone 15,000.
I can imagine 200 RuneScape players. They're bloody hard to manage, I tell you, some of them. But I grew up with them. A lot of them I've known for many years. People like Huzi and Jara, obviously, have been around since they were young as well. And it's nice to have that, the people who do have that continuity. But it's equally nice to have all the fresh faces come in, have all the new people, especially bringing that energy with them.
So with that, like, why did this sudden change in structure, that going from being a clan-based community, basically one game, one platform, and then why the change into a larger format, this much larger group of people with different activities and different things to do? Was it a necessity or something that you were just interested in, or?
Well, the main reason we changed was I was afraid that Jagex were taking RuneScape in the wrong direction, and I still absolutely believe this is the case. I think that they're going to basically destroy the game, and they're doing it for money, which is fine. It's business at the end of the day. But obviously, this is my family, which I've been with for 15 years at this point, and I wasn't prepared to lose contact with those people based on a game disappearing or becoming neglected, people stopping playing, and so forth. So
Right.
I made the decision a year ago that okay, we're a RuneScape plan by history, but let's turn ourselves into a furry gaming community. So at the time there must have been about 8 of us who were admins on RuneScape, and I basically said to them, what other games do you guys play? You know, I could only recruit admins from within the RuneScape fur community because I didn't really have any other people in here at this point. So I said, you know, you can play Diablo, you play Guild Wars, what can we sort of, you know, you play Minecraft.
Just throwing stones at people until they find other people to throw stones at.
Yeah. I mean, and that was what it was at the start. I mean, we had 5 game sections to begin with the idea being that when RuneScape did crash and die, we would have another game by then that we'd found that we'd all go and play together. So it wasn't really ever the idea that we'd split into sub communities and have people who sort of only played 1 or 2 games. It was really just to try almost to find a new game and to build that sense of community until we found our new home. But yeah, obviously became a lot more than that and quickly as well.
Yeah, and I mean the growth that I've seen within just the time that I've been here, and of course hearing from this, is the growth is astounding. I would love to know some of the background of how you ended up growing this community out the way you have. Is it mostly just word of mouth or conventions, or I mean, how do you get people to say, "Hey, I'm really interested in all these games and I want to be part of a larger community"? Because there's thousands of communities out there to join. Why this one?
So I think what brings people to Furry Valley is the level of service, the level of friendliness they have here. So we provide events for our members, and they're really well structured. We train our admins to give the members what they want. We're open, we're approachable, we're friendly. Every single person who joins Furry Valley gets a personal welcome from an admin. They get to know that admin. And what most other communities don't have, well, okay, they don't have the events, but they also have this weird sort of thing where the admins and owners don't interact with the members. And I never really have understood this. Like, why would you have a community if you don't actually involve yourself in the community? I don't get these owners of furry servers who have 5,000 people and they just sit there in a chat that everyone can see, but it's locked and no one can join. It's like, why? You know,
wants to pick certain raisins out of the box and say you belong here.
Yeah. And our recruitment is very heavily word of mouth based. We've had you in particular have released flyers and such conventions to people who've attended, but other than that, it's entirely word of mouth based. Obviously, I've been a furry for a long time. I can message thousands of people on platforms and be like, "Hey, I run this link. Hey, I run this link," sort of thing. But as much as anything, having good quality people in here will invite good quality other people, because you know, people who are nice and friendly tend to have friends who are also nice and friendly and also happen to usually play the same games and such as them, so they've got something to do here. So I think that's what sets us apart, the kind of the high quality that we have. We're big on quality, big on professionalism, but also the friendliness. You know, if someone here is unpleasant, they don't end up staying for long. You know, people here are very nice, nice people.
And I totally agree. I think at that point, if not everybody's having a good time, most of the time it's not due to the fact that there's not something to do, but because the people that are around you that you're trying to interact with aren't that great. And I don't see a lot of that here. Most of the people here tend to have a good time and just speak in general with people. And the community managers and the admins seem to be very open to speaking with everyone.
Yeah,
so that's great.
I think that it sort of rubs off on people. If you have a furry who has been part of 10 other discords and they are a bit of a troll there and they mess around and stuff, then they come here and they notice, wait, everyone here is really polite and friendly and kind and respectful. They almost become that without even trying, because you want to behave like the people around you in order to fit in. And so they become perfectly well-functioning members of our community as well.
Become a functioning member of society, thank you.
Well, that's what we're doing, isn't it? Helping furries find the best in themselves. And I think that is a good overall message that we have in Furry Valley. It's all about helping people be happy, find their potential, supporting them where they need it, giving them a family, which a lot of furries unfortunately don't have, and that's something that resonates with me as well on a personal
Okay.
level.
Well, speaking of things that resonate with you, what's your favorite thing here? I know this is more of a personal question, but I would like to ask you, what's your favorite thing here to do in this community since that you've been part of it for so long? I would assume that you still take part in RuneScape and that kind of thing, but since it's expanded to the point that it has, is there anything new that you've really gone, this is my new favorite thing?
Um, it's difficult. I mean, I still do lead a lot of the PvN, PvE events on RuneScape, but I think it's something that's not really tangible. I like most just sort of seeing in General 1 people chatting, having a good time, looking through Guild Wars 2 General, ESO General, WoW General, and so on, and just taking that in. The whole idea that I did that, and the
Right.
people I care about and the people I've trained, the admins and such have done that. That in itself, okay, it's not really doing an activity or such. I don't get me wrong, I play Cards Against Humanity here. I come to movie night here. I do podcast debates and stuff. But I think the whole just sort of atmosphere, the buzzing, the sort of feel it's got to it. I think that's what I like most about how it is today.
Just seeing the people in here
Yeah,
interact and knowing
yeah,
that, oh hey, I helped with that, that's amazing,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
that's so cool. That's it really is neat to see because I'm part of a bunch of different communities that end up, there's always that buzz, right? So this kind of
Hmm.
ties into all communities have some really proud moments, and then they have like a lull, and then they have like not so proud moments, and I don't see a lot of not proud moments here, but I do see
Hmm.
a lot of really really interesting things, such as this community. No matter what time of day I come on, I see people being active, trying to actively speak with other members, and genuinely being involved, and that's something that I see happen less and less across platforms in general. Just because whenever you can do everything on your own, why even build into a community? And I think that's really neat to see that here. That's different. There's an exception here.
Yeah,
That things are active and are moving forward every day, and there doesn't seem to be a lull in sight.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I,
and
I,
we adapt. Yeah.
I think the whole social aspect is really important. So as much as people coming here for events and so forth, people also come here because they do see it as a family. They do see it as their home. We have in our Fallout section, one of our admins hosts an event for Fallout, and they just chill and play together while they eat their dinner. They all go cook some food, go on voice together, and just play, and that sort of thing, where it almost is like eating with your family. The people who matter to you, the people who you want to hang out with. That's brilliant, and I think
Yeah.
that sort of that kind of feel that we've got, where everyone feels welcomed and warm and cared for genuinely, and that's the atmosphere that we present them with from the first moment they join, when they get the admins welcoming them personally and so forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So with that in mind, I guess what, with all of these different things happening and all of the things that have been implemented and currently are being, what is Furry Valley's current goal? Like where are we going here within the next few months or maybe a year? Just it's so diverse. I personally don't know what the next step would be.
Within the next few months, so the sort of immediate future, we want to expand possibly to another couple of platforms. So we want to have quite a big expansion on Telegram. We want to have some branded groups, some branded channels, and so forth. Where
Mhm.
previously on the Telegram side, we've only done listings and that kind of service based stuff. We'd like to have a community on Telegram. There's also a platform called Wattpad, which I don't know much about, but one of our admins, Dominic, seems very, very into Wattpad. So I'd like to expand in that direction. on the
I'd love to know
Discord.
what that is. I'm very
I don't know
unfamiliar.
what it is, but I know he gets a bunch of furries he recruits from there. So whatever it is, it seems to be seems to be good.
Fair
Um,
enough.
on Discord itself, I mean, we've got the Apex Legends section, which is going to be released this week. We've got a full RP city, which is coming this week. In the coming months, we've got want to get a calendar for Fur Meets, FurCons, so people know what's on, who's going to what. Want to get a
Oh,
birthday
okay.
feature, so it'll celebrate birthdays and such. Want to get a merchandise store out, so people be able to buy not only Furry Valley brand merchandise, but just general furry merch.
Yeah.
And we're really open to suggestions. You know, Furry Valley will become what people want it to become. That's what it's always been like. So we have feedback forms that we send out regularly, and there's also a chat that we created last week called Admin Feed Quest Sug, because I couldn't think of a better name. So that's for feedback, questions, and suggestions.
That,
That's
that
just below
is
General 2.
great. I love it. Nobody's ever gonna go, what is that chat?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay. So really it's about making sure that there's something that appeals to everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah,
yeah,
guys, definitely feel welcome to go and suggest things in there. I mean, we're listening. As you can hear, we're
yeah.
in the what is it called again?
Furry Valley.
No. What's it called again? Your channel name
Oh,
that you put it.
admin feed quest sug feedback questions suggestions feed quest
Yeah.
sug.
As you can see, we're listening in the Feed Quest sug. So please go and visit
We got to think of a better name for that. Yeah, suggestions. Taking suggestions for the name of that chat because that is terrible. That's all I
Can
could
it
think of.
can it be the sug? Can it just be the sug
The
and
sug.
say the sug and say please visit the sug if you have any suggestions for us. Thanks.
Yeah. Oh dear. I thought for quite some time on what to call that bloody thing, and I thought should it just be like admin questions, admin Q&A? But then I thought, well, how do they know it's a feedback and suggestions and stuff? So it's like, yeah, ugh. And admin contacts is just too vague because it's like, well, why wouldn't I just PM the admin if I want to contact them? Like, ugh. Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at that for a while and just go
Admin support.
hmm.
Admin support. That's a yeah.
Please leave your suggestions for what we should call the sug, and we'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, you can put that in podcast text channel.
So, I guess we've kind of covered where you want to be within the next year, but I mean, is there any big plans growing here soon? Anything for growth or any IRL events or anything in that nature? Because I think that's the next thing, right? Having even more contact with the community. So, I don't know, meets or doing panels or any of that stuff. Is that in the pipeline?
So we have a furry convention admin team, and their sort of thing to do is research which furry conventions we might want to attend, how we might partner up with them, advertise them, they'll advertise us, that kind of thing. Perhaps have panels, as you mentioned. Perhaps have one of our admins give a talk at one of these things. I've never been to a con myself, but we want to host two cons, in fact, next year. That's one in NA, one in Europe. I don't know exactly where yet, but I imagine the Europe one will be in the UK because I'm in the UK, and I'll probably do quite a bit of organising for that.
I got to make sure there's one right down the road from me. I'm just going to do it in the closest event center to me, so I don't have to go very far.
I'm not sure there's anywhere big enough. I don't live in a particularly big place, so there's nowhere big enough in my town to do it. But I could go to a larger city and
you're gonna have to drive an hour away to get to where you're going. Dang.
Well, I mean, I don't really drive, but yeah, I could get on the train. Public transport exists in England. Yeah. So all of you Americans feel jealous. We have public transport, and it's only average of like 20 minutes late.
Hey. Okay, fine, fair enough. You're right.
As far as overall goals looking further into the future, Furry Valley wants to become just basically the center of the furry universe. We want to provide everything a furry needs in one place. We want to be able to give them art stuff as far as they want, whether they're a commissioner, whether they're an artist. We want to be able to support that. We want to have a personal section. So if you're a furry looking for friends, looking for love, whatever it may be, you'll have that. We want to have a classified section for furries who want to buy and sell, be it fursuit pieces or, I don't know, whatever. You think of it, Craigslist for furries, basically.
Yes, Craigslist for furries. It'll just be
Yeah.
a bunch of sections. We just have to skip over a
Yeah.
few of them. Otherwise, we'll end up like Craigslist did.
Yeah, and other than that, just keep going in the same direction. Have look at what furries want, ask them what they want, speak with the people, and provide them what they want.
I think that's the difference, is actually listening and again, listening and taking the feedback and giving people what they want. Because the old saying is nobody knows exactly what they want. Well, whenever you have well over 5,000 people screaming at you about what they want,
One of them's got to know.
So the majority probably know what they want. The other majority are going to go, oh, okay, that makes sense. So yeah, there you go.
Yep. And when we take feedback, we ask, we suggest a few updates that we're thinking of, and we get people to rate on a scale of 1 to 5 how much you want this, and then you can sort of see over. I think our latest feedback form got 400 responses, and we sort of see over that sample size. Okay, everyone wants a birthday thing on the bot. Not many people particularly care about some other things. And also going to be creating a persistent game. So a fully integrated RPG, persistent over Discord, Telegram, possibly our website you'll be able to play on as well. That's in the works. I expect it to be released probably summer, maybe a little sooner. If we do it sooner, we will. Yeah, that'll be good.
Really neat.
Those of you who've been here for a while will know that we do special events where they last for a month. That's for Christmas and Easter usually. So imagine something like that, except persistent, long-term, be able to play it whenever you want. Dedicated section for it, possibly a dedicated server for it even.
Like a new age Zork. I get you.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Think your sort of standard mud, but with a bit of graphics. We'll probably get the design team to do some stuff for that. MMO based, loads of skills you can train, boss fights. Yeah.
Well, that's dope. I can't wait to see and hear more of that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess with that's most of the questions that I had. So why don't we go ahead and see what the lovely members of the audience have said to us over the time that we've been talking about the SUG and
the SUG.
Yes, the SUG and many other things. All right. Now I gotta not butcher people's names. I am so sorry. It's the furry community. I can't get everybody right.
No.
Okay.
And anyone in the audience who would like to ask questions, we've got a podcast text chat, which is a couple of channels above the voice chat that we're currently in. Please do feel free to ask in that chat now. If you need help finding it, it's in the community section.
Move your little fingies fast. I'm moving down this list. All right. Arctuse asks, do you ever plan to move off of Discord as an eventuality? Basically, do you think that Discord will eventually become kind of like the AIM of today?
I think it's inevitable. I like Discord a ton. Discord has a heck of a lot of functionality. The bot stuff I can do with Discord is fantastic. I love how smooth it is, how I can get 50 people in the voice chat and my computer doesn't die. Yeah, good luck with that, Skype. I like how responsive it is. The mobile interface isn't great. But generally as technology moves on, platforms become deprecated, and that's okay. It's sort of what you expect, in the same way that MSN got nommed by Skype got nommed by Discord and Telegram, and I don't know what will come next. I imagine, I don't know, it tends to be sort of every 5 years or so you get a new big thing.
Something like that. It's like I remember whenever, honestly, AIM lasted quite a while longer than I thought it would have.
It did, but if you look at its competitors, AIM and Yahoo were really only the forefront until MSN came along, which is maybe only sort of, you had IRC for a long time, then you had things like AIM ICQ in Yahoo Messenger, and then that was maybe 5 years, and then MSN. So
Simba, you got to remember, nobody here remembers what IRC except for me and
no.
you. They say, they're
Well,
like, "What is IRC?" And I'm like,
if you guys imagine Discord, but the compact Discord, only with text and no colors, just text, little channels and stuff. That's kind of like what it used to be.
If you
Yeah.
can take a stab at what IRC stands for, you know exactly what it is because it's the name of it.
Yeah.
But it make me feel old. I remember doing radio stuff on Skype back in the day, and now I'm like, Skype. I see that thing on my when Windows loads up. I'm like, oh, you're still here.
Yeah.
Why? Why do you exist?
I've not used Skype in a long time.
Okay,
But
let's move on. Oh, go ahead.
just I think that VR will be a big thing. I don't think that the next generation of platforms will be VR, but I think if you look 2 generations from now, having VR chats, which are in essence the successor to what we have on Discord and Telegram, will be, I think, what comes. Because then you can actually be there with your friends. At the end of the day, people are on these platforms for a social experience. You can provide a much more immersive social experience if you do it via VR, and I think that's the future. Absolutely.
So you've heard it here. Simba says that VR chat, as it is today, will eventually be our future. Get ready for Gunga Knuckles and small little fox girls to be running around.
2030.
2030.
Yeah,
It'll get even better.
And if no one else has done it, I'll do it for you guys.
Hey, there we go. And say we're one step closer to everybody having genetically modified tails. All right.
Fursuits. Woo!
Yay! All right. Alexis asks, what do you feel the most valuable thing? What do you feel is the most valuable thing you offer to Furry Valley?
Leadership, I guess. I'm very organized, very good at communicating things, very good at managing things. So I am quite popular, but I don't think I'm particularly the most sociable person here. We got people like Cinnabunny who will talk to you 16 hours a day every day and not break a sweat. However, I think on the management side, that's where I really am good. I structure things well. I'm good at training people to do admin jobs. I'm good at figuring out what to do. You give me a big problem, like, you've got all these thousands of furries. What do you do? How do you manage this?
You're way better than me because I just look at people. I'm like, do the thing. Don't you know how to do the thing? I told you how to do it 2 days ago. And they're like, I still don't understand.
It's all about, I guess what I can do isn't manage people, it's train people to be able to manage people. So I can take, 50 admin trialists, and after a month I can have created 15 to 20 really solid good admins who could do their jobs properly. So I think that's what I offer most, which is, maybe it doesn't sound particularly fun, but I think in a community like this, if you're going to run it properly, you need someone who can do that. And from doing that from the top means you're going to have had a foundation that is built on that from the start. You don't want to have something you have to fix later, messy.
Every community and even communities and companies and governments are all set up that way. There's one person at the top that can tell the other people how to tell other people how to do their jobs.
Yep.
It's the tree. It's the big tree. Somebody has to be the trunk, and everybody else has to be branches, and that's just the way it works.
But I also
you have a big stick.
I also buzz around a lot though, so I'll get stuck in sections, just helping them out, chatting with people and stuff. And I think that's what people like about me. It's the fact that, okay, yeah, I manage stuff and I'm professional in that sense, but I'm gonna get stuck in and play games with you guys and chat with you when I can and stuff.
I know. I played League with you. It didn't go well for me.
Well, that's because you played League. Why would you play League? League of Legends is a terrible game. That's why I played all the bloody time.
Oh, that's right. We can do Trivial Pursuit. Trivial Pursuit
for 4 hours. Oh,
yeah,
that was so hard.
For those of you that don't know, we played a game of Trivial Pursuit that lasted over 4 hours, and it only ended.
We weren't even done.
We screamed at somebody.
Flip the board.
You're like, this is the answer. Answer the question. What is the desert that's painted? I'm done with this game.
It was
go to bed.
That was I think that was the first day I got tabletop, and I was really excited to play with you guys. And I was like, "Oh yeah, quiz games. Let's play true." I expect be done in an hour and a half, and then it's like, God, I
You
know.
fool.
Oh, I was good at the science questions, but no shit all about
Entertainment.
history. Yeah, entertainment. I've not watched these shows. It's all American crap. What's the capital of Arkansas? Fuck if I know.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, well, I think we should move on before we get stuck talking about Trivial Pursuit for an hour.
Or four.
Or 4.5, until somebody just flips the internet.
Flips the board, flips the internet. Uninstall.
Okay. Uninstall. No more internet for me. I'm just going to go sleep now. That's what we do.
Knock the internet off the table. He's dropped it. IT crowd.
I'd say you're the kitty cat. You could do that. And I'm the bat, so I'm just going to fly off to the land of big F bats. I mean, it's fine. We don't have internet there.
Oh yeah, I'm good at knocking things off tables, aren't I? And making it look like I'm too cute to be the one who have done it.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
When you're not looking.
Artuse asks again, what are some serious decisions that Furry Valley has had to make in the past that might have changed the way it is today?
Well, I think the biggest one we've made is expanding from RuneScape. The other admins were, at the time we had, I said about 8 admins, and the other ones were sort of like, "Oh, Simba, this is a big thing. This is ambitious. You sure you want to do this?" And I wasn't sure I wanted to do it either, honestly. I didn't know it would go well. RuneScape at the time was the only game I played, so I was basically saying, okay, we don't just need RuneScape, we need other games. I can't play any other games. What other games do you play? That was a huge thing, and I wasn't confident with it.
I play Civilization. Can we recruit people from Civilization? I play that as well as RuneScape.
Yeah, I think if you go back and read the logs from early 2018, read the announcements and such, I may come across as confident and such, but let me tell you, I was like so nervous with that sort of stuff. I had honestly no idea what I was doing. All I'd done at that point was I'd admin forums, I'd admin smaller little bits and pieces. I was an FA admin for a while, but I'd never really had my own big thing that I'd expanded more than one platform or more than one game. I'd always been an admin in a larger structure. I'd never been the leader of such a big whoosh thing.
So you became a baker from the person that would just get boxes of cookies to sell. You're like, here's my box of cookies. Now I have to bake cookies, and this is weird.
Yeah, and that was something that I think overall was a bit strange. Not when we expanded, but also when I first became leader. Suddenly I didn't have anyone who I could look up to, and I didn't have anyone who I could say, "Oh, shit's going wrong. What do I do? How do I fix this?"
Couldn't Google how to fix community. Please help.
How to fix furries? What do I do? Save me. And that was really intimidating. And the first 2 years that I was leader of FM, I know I made loads and loads of stupid mistakes. I think the worst thing I did was I decided as leader, I had really bad self-esteem, mental health issues at the time. So I basically thought, okay, well, I have to make everyone like me. How do I be a leader that everyone likes? Because then I'll feel good and everyone will be happy, right? And it was the worst bloody thing in the world because everyone was allowed 10 million chances, and I never ban anyone. I'd warn them and I'd warn them again, and I'd say, please, come on, don't do that. You shouldn't do that. And because I was like that,
please stop. I won't ban you. Please
stop. Yeah, it was tragic. But because I was like that, a lot of the people who were in the RuneScape clan at the time had to deal with shitheads who they really ought not to have had to deal with. And it was only after sort of 2 years or so that I got enough confidence in myself, confidence in my leadership abilities, that I was able to just smack out a couple of people who really had no business being there. A couple of old admins who were incredibly toxic, just bad people. who, you know, when they were in the clan chat, everyone was unhappy and everyone was quiet and stuff. But I didn't want the backlash of these people getting grumpy and
Oh
causing a
yeah.
faff. But
You
yeah, that was
you
my
you
sort of
waited
coming of
until
age.
you waited until the banhammer was soaked in the tears of those that were frustrated, and then you used
Yeah,
that to just
yeah.
yeet people, as Simba says,
Yeet.
yeet them out. Yes, everyone knows that Simba does the yeet now.
I do the yeet. I do the begone thought. Now I've been taught. I'm learning. No, back then I used to be a bit more teasy with it. I used to I there's a screenshot of me which I've seen going around in a few places where it's in the clan chat and I'm basically pretending to be, well, in America you've got Donald Trump who run the
Oh
Apprentice
yeah,
show.
yeah.
In the UK we've got Alan Sugar, and I was basically doing the Apprentice, saying like the worst in the boardroom, you're gonna get fired and all this sort of really 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 cringy sort of young furry shit. But
You're
I
like,
used to, yeah.
Let's
I
add
once
some
banned
sass to
someone.
this.
Yeah, yeah. I once banned someone saying to them, "You are the weakest link. Goodbye." um.
No, 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 no.
Yeah, yeah.
It hurts my
we.
soul.
Yeah, yeah. We had brilliant moments back in the clan chat in the day. Someone was amazed that they were releasing a new Lion King movie. This must have been 2014, somewhere around then, when the third one came out. And they were
Yes.
like, I thought there was only one movie. What's the second one called? And I said, Lion King 2. And they're like, oh.
Brilliant.
Yeah, gosh, I miss those guys. So many people. That's the thing with it being around for so long. So many people have come and gone, and you wonder, what are they doing today? Do they ever think of me? You know, the same way I think of them. Um,
Yeah. Well, do they even then, like, do they think of the community that they're no longer a part of as
Do they
well?
know
Because, I
it? You
mean,
know, they wouldn't
yeah.
know. A lot of them who haven't been here for years would have no idea what it's like today.
Yeah, if
They,
you
you know,
just plop somebody in here, they would be
yeah,
like, I have no idea what's going
what
on.
is this place? You know, and I think they'd finally, yeah, they look at the RuneScape 3 thing and be like, oh my god, is this? And then we had one of our old RuneScape admins back from the early 2010s rejoined within the past few days, and he's like, "What?" You know, just mind blown over this. Um, but not just the admins, but the members. That we had some brilliant people back then. As we, you know, that's not to say we have brilliant people. We have more brilliant people now. But there are some people from back then I still remember, and I think to myself, wonder what you're doing today. You know, miss you. Um,
Yeah.
you lose
Well, there you
contact with
go.
people. That kind of hurts.
Well, maybe they'll come across this video and be like, oh, hey,
Oh,
I
hey,
remember you.
there's that lion with that voice that I used to like
Yeah,
10
yeah,
years
yeah,
ago.
yeah. All right. We've got a few more questions. Stormfox asks, when did you realize that you needed more help on Furry Valley? Like the integration of more admins, where it wasn't
Mm.
just like a handful.
Well, I guess it was when I expanded to other games, and I was like, well, I ain't gonna be moderating Minecraft and Guild Wars 2 and Diablo. I ain't played these bloody things, so I think
I don't know how to
yeah.
do the Diablo. You
Yeah,
get out of
yeah.
here.
I think that's the key when you are trying to do something or start a section or lead something where you don't yourself know how to do it. You need to find friends who do know how to do it, and then you need to, when you know how to lead, when you know how to manage things,
Pick them
that's
up
sort
by
of
the
something.
scruff and set
Yeah,
them into the chair and say, there you go. That's your chair now. Enjoy your
yeah.
chair.
You can sort of train those sorts of general skills in people. And of course I had that ability from RuneScape. I trained all the RuneScape admins, so I knew what I wanted in an admin, and I knew how to sort of give them those skills. I needed them to then use their game knowledge and such to apply it to their own sort of domains, which they did very well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. It looks like Alu has a question. It says, what are some of the most memorable moments from Furry Valley as it is today?
Um Cards Against Humanity is always fun. We have a lot of good fun, a lot of good moments in that. Um I
What's your
think
favorite card You gotta have one.
My favorite card. I like the card where it's like blank got banned from the Furry Valley meetup for doing blank. That's that's one.
I can see. I can see why.
And there's another which is did you know that we found blank in Alexi's snuggle dungeon? That one, yeah.
Oh, that's too good. I love it.
But I think a lot of my most memorable times come from the community as it is today. Doesn't we have the events and such, but I think how I remember it most on a personal level is when I was younger on the RuneScape side, being a young teen fur, and we'd all get together with our weapons and clubs and shit, and we'd go in the wildy and try and PK people, or we go and kill the king black dragon, and all that sort of stuff with our rune scimitars, and we'd have like just like we'd all line up, and yeah, that was a lot of fun. Those are, we'd have drop parties at Christmas. We'd get together, have these amazing events, 40, 50 people and such. Just socializing stuff, that kind of thing. I think
it's hard to explain it when they're not there, because some of the best moments happen for a split second, then everybody laughs, and then we move on.
I think I'll always have my memories, but I'll always miss the people who were with me in those times who aren't anymore. Quite poignant in a way, thinking back on those times.
Well, okay. We've already covered that. So let's go with, how hard is it to maintain the server with your daily life, especially work, or if you work or go to school full time? That's Redvin. I don't know. I'd say, go ahead.
So I work as a professor. I do research into neuroscience. In particular, I'm interested in efficiency of learning. So things like what's the best way to become fluent in Chinese in 3 months? That kind of question interests me. I write research papers on that kind of thing.
And I need to know this.
Well, we can chat about that after. Yeah, there's a lot of I could talk about this for hours. Don't get me started on my research. I won't shut up about it. But a lot of what I do is it's freelance. I'm not tied to an institution, so I can do research. I give lectures at various institutions, like universities and so forth, and I can choose how much of that I do. I'm quite privileged in that sense. And I also do business stuff. And again, obviously, I run the businesses, so I can choose how much of that I do. And back around September time, September 2018, I was getting to the point where I sort of knew I had to stop doing other things in order to really dedicate to FV like I needed to. And so for the past 5 or 6 months, I've been working on Furry Valley pretty much full time as the only thing I do. I still keep up to date with the research. I read the new papers as they come out in a few fields. I minimally run my businesses so they don't just sort of disappear. But otherwise, I only do Furry Valley at this point. So I don't really have any other active work at this point. I mean, I can rebalance that however I want, whenever I want.
Drinks tea, sleeps, eats Furry Valley all day.
Yeah, it really is that. And people look at me and say, "Well, you're working, 80 hours, 90 hours a week. Do you not get tired?" And no, because for me, this is my home. This is what I would do if I wasn't working anyway. I'd come in Furry Valley and hang out and spend time with people and do stuff. So it doesn't feel like work. And obviously, we've got Blaze as our co-owner, and Blaze, pretty much for the whole time that I've been working full time on it, has been also working full time on it, and that really helps. I think.
Having somebody to bounce off with that's working just as hard as you do.
Absolutely. Someone who gets what it's like to really, give all you've got for it. Immensely helpful, and the best thing about Blaze is he's really, really, really fucking smart, but also he has a lot of skills that I don't have. So I'm a sort of, I can write code and I can develop and I can do architecture and I can manage, I can lead, that sort of stuff. And Blaze just swishes his tail, and then we have cool logos and banners and designs, and then he's really professional. I love it. I love it. Smart guy. He knows everything about a lot of things that I have no idea. So good with security stuff. So good with
Oh yeah, big balance. A big balance out to the both of you.
Yeah. You need someone like that as your partner and working on this sort of stuff who gets what it's like, what you're doing, but also has their own unique stuff they bring. And before I met Blaze, I never met anyone like that before. Changed my life. Incredible guy. And I couldn't do it without him. I couldn't do it without all the admins, but Blaze in particular is like, yeah, he gets it. Totally gets it.
Yeah. Well, good. Okay, now I have Miss, I'm gonna have to move around on these. All right, he's got a few questions. I'm gonna start with what was the idea behind Furry Valley? Like, what was what's the dream for it? Where is it going to? I guess is what he's asking.
I think, as I mentioned, what we want to get towards is having providing the centerpiece for the furry fandom. So giving them everything they need in one place, under one big umbrella. I think that's where we'd like to go. As for what was the motivation? I think it's just that, as I mentioned, Jagex wasn't going in the right direction, which meant I was afraid that I was going to lose contact with the people I genuinely loved. They were my family. So that's why we started going down that road. As I mentioned, we were never trying at first to become the center of the furry universe, I guess, but it sort of evolved into that. Our original thing was more just trying to find a new game that we could all emigrate to when RuneScape went down the toilet.
Whenever the game dies, we have another game to play, and
exactly.
we don't lose out on anything.
Touch.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So we originally branded as a furry gaming community, and then we found that seemed to turn away people who weren't big into gaming. So we then rebranded as a furry social community, and that's what we call ourselves today, or just a furry community.
Yeah. He additionally asks, Mizuno asks, how do you feel about Furry Valley right now as a whole? Do you feel
proud,
happy?
Immensely proud.
Oh, there you go.
Very, very, very proud. I am proud of all the members who spend time here and make the place what it is, because it's truly, you can't have a community without members. The people who are here make it what it is. I mean, okay, we have admins who host events, we have Blaze and I who run the place, and of course all of us do amazing work, but if there's no one around to enjoy it, and there's no one around to make the most of what we provide, then they really don't have a community. So very proud, very grateful, and very humbled as well that, okay, yeah, sure, we put a load of work into stuff, but the fact that literally thousands and thousands of people from hundreds of countries come here and they choose of all the places in the world they can spend their time. Some of them spend hours every day here. That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible, and it's such a privilege to be part of so many people's lives like that and be able to provide something for them like that. Yeah, really humbling.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I see it every day, and I'm amazed. I'm like, wow, this really is like exactly what I would think of a community being. And as being somebody that's Simba, we remember back in the day whenever you had to go to dedicated forums, and we thought that's what communities were. We're checking back in 3 hours to see if somebody had responded to your comment to the greater thread.
Yep.
And it was so this is a completely different thing. It's like, wow, this is what I imagined that was back in the day.
Yeah, and I'm sure 10 years from now we'll look and think, wow, that's what we thought a community was, because of course we'll have moved on and evolved in time. I think once we get into the VR stuff, actually being able to touch your friend, actually being able to hug someone, and instead of typing star hugs, that's the future. And I think once we have that, it's easy to look at the past and think, how are those people ever satisfied with what they have? But it's just what isn't it? It's the present when you're there.
I'd say I remember those days fondly, but I couldn't imagine doing it now.
No
way.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
A million years.
You'd think, what's this primitive bullshit?
Okay. Let's move on. Tekrin asks, the population of Furry Valley has grown exponentially over the past few years. What are some of the difficulties you face with the massive population increase, and how do you work through them?
I think keeping effort. So that there are two main things that spring to mind. The first is there are some members who naturally are quite shy and quite quiet. And one of the challenges is integrating those people who, if you don't integrate them, will sort of quietly sit in the corner and not quite be sure when to talk or where to talk or how to really fit in. And we're going to be implementing a buddy system as soon as possible to help with that. But I think that's one of the two big challenges. The other one is requiring a larger and larger and larger number of admins, and that means I need more admins who manage admins, and then I need more admins who manage admins who manage admins, and so on. And it's you can't avoid that as you grow, but finding a lot of really high quality people and training those people it's a lot of work.
How many hours do you think the admins do per week? Just you and the
In
admins
total,
together.
in
If you
total,
had
it's
to,
over 1,000 a week, over 1,000 hours a week for sure.
oh, jeez.
Which is, that's 24/7 working. 7 people working 24/7 is about what I think the admins put in every week, which is incredible. You think,
Yeah.
members look at the community and think everything's so smooth and works so well and stuff, and when they become admins, when a member first becomes an admin trialist, they are like, what the hell is this world you've got hidden away here? And that is, you don't want the members to know that there is so much going on as admins, because it means you've done your job right. They are meant to be here to enjoy themselves and such. So the fact that they are blown away by like, wow, what on earth is this you've got? What is this admin stuff? Is pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's dope. I'd say 1,000 hours. I wouldn't have thought. Well, I can imagine how many hours. I know how.
Blaze and I alone probably put in 200 between us, I would say. So on top of it's got to be over 1,000 hours. Yeah, for sure.
Good Lord.
Every single week.
Well, all right. Now that I'm thinking about how much work that I do. Cry has a question. Cry says, "Are you planning on using the snug in more intimate situations?"
The sug, you mean?
Yeah, the sug.
The sug. More intimate situations. God, what we're going to get up to in a private call later, DGB, with the sug.
Yeah, the sug.
I suggest that to Bad Dragon, should I?
I have this great idea. It's called the sug. You gotta hear me out on it.
You can use it to hit someone with if they try and creep up behind you. Surprise! Nope. Hit you with the sug. What you can do now? Oh dear.
Okay. Excalibur asks, what would you like to see change in Discord itself if you plan on continuing to use it? So is there anything about Discord currently that holds back Furry Valley that you'd like to see changed?
Having the limit of 500 channels is annoying. We are actually at 500 and have been for a couple of months, and I have to keep shuffling things around and deleting archive channels in order to not exceed that limit. So that's kind of a problem. I'd like that to be increased. I'd like to be able to have colors in text. So if I want to post in red or blue or have different words in different colors, I'd like to be able to do that. I'd also like to be able to use stickers. There are two
sticker
main
system.
Things. Yeah. Two main things that Telegram has over Discord, and I think if Discord had both of these, Telegram would yeet, basically. I haven't used that correctly, have I? Goddamn, I'm trying to be cool.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna let it slide for now. We're gonna go.
Let it slide for one time.
Everybody gets one.
Yep. Fair enough. I won't use my other two quick, but I think stickers and the security thing. I think people like that Telegram is sort of end-to-end encrypted and all secure and stuff, where people don't say Discord is. I don't know, maybe it does have some security stuff, but people use Telegram for security and stickers. Everything else Discord does better, I feel, like way better. So I think if Discord were to implement those two, and also colored text. Telegram's text is even bloody worse. You can't have bold and underline on the same text. Like, why not? Crap. But
It's too much load on that stream. You know, you can't have it. Can't have that many different
when I
things inside
want
of a
it.
stream text. Yeah. Of course you do. We all want it. This isn't
Yeah.
MySpace. This isn't MySpace where you can just, you know. Oh wait, nobody here knows what that is. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. Tom's still your friend.
Yeah, Tom's still my friend. It's okay. Well, okay, yeah, I can see where certain things need to change. I think Discord has it been long overdue for some of these changes, but they do put out updates like all the time, trying to add things and implement things. So if they continue on like that, they might be able to keep sailing through. But I mean, it's the inevitability that eventually something better will come along.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. There's no way to avoid that.
And
Look at
the reason why platforms who just update don't keep up is because fundamentally they're built on an inferior foundation. So when you have a new platform that comes along 5 years later, you haven't had the sort of 2 or 3 years of we got to fiddle everything to match what we started with. You start fresh. It's much quicker to create a superior product than if you try to adapt an inferior one to become.
It's like taking boards and putting them on a house and saying, if I keep putting boards on the house, fine.
Yeah.
Well, eventually, the house is so old, you've put so many extra boards on the outside of it, it's going to cave in. You have to bulldoze the whole thing and then rebuild a new house, and then there you go. I mean, it's too hard to do that on an existing platform. Usually, most of these people just build something new and say, hey, we're moving.
Yep. And this sort of obviously, those of you who use Telegram will know that currently our services on there are down, and that in itself provides a lot of opportunity where we can create something new, create something where we don't have some of the problems we had before, and that will mean that long term we have a far superior product, far superior infrastructure that it's built on. And I think in the same way, whether it's on Discord or another platform in the future, I'm sure we will rebuild the whole of Furry Valley from the ground up, and it will be better because of it. So that's just a natural sort of way to progress, I guess.
I see you in here, Cry, who is a live member of our audience, says that he uses an IRC daily. I feel bad.
Yeah, if I were using IRC daily, I wouldn't admit to
it. I'd be like, yeah, no, I've never. Okay, we're getting close to time, but I think that one of these questions, Redvin asks, are there requirements to be an admin? And if so, how do these people balance their daily lives out? So time requirements for people to be admins. And I guess alternatively, I'll also ask, how do you determine who the best people are for our admin groups? How do you choose and say, hey, this person isn't going to end up being a do-nothing or somebody that's going to be just a crazy person?
Okay, so I'll take you through. There's sort of two questions there. The first one, how do you help the admins balance what they're doing with their daily lives? So what I'll say is on Telegram, there are a lot of people who want to be an admin, so they've got a shiny silver star. And the equivalent is true in Discord. There's a lot of people who want to be an admin just so their name's in the list of admins, and so they feel special. And those are exactly the people I don't want. If you're an admin here and you don't do anything, you won't stay as an admin. You stay as a member, sure. But that doesn't mean that I demand an excessive amount from you. As long as we have regular reviews for the trialists every couple of weeks, I look at all the trialists, look at what they've done. If they haven't done anything, they get demoted. If they've made some sort of meaningful contribution, they tend to be able to stay, even if it's only they put in a couple of hours in a week. That's fine as long as it's productive, as long as it's something beneficial. Then they're clearly providing value and they're doing their job. I look for 3 characteristics when new trialists come on board. I really, really, really emphasize this to them. I want you to be honest. If you're honest with me, I can trust you. If you're not honest with me, I can't trust you. We have really sensitive information in the admin section, not just in terms of what we're doing in Furry Valley, but we have really sensitive information about some members. For example, if a member posts in the advice channel that they're having difficulties with I don't know, suppose that they are afraid of coming out to their family, or they're having difficulties with an abusive girlfriend. And in the advice chat, you guys know it's anonymous, but there is an admin command which will uncloak someone in the advice chat. And the community managers are under very, very, very strict supervision of this command. If they use it inappropriately, they're immediately banned. I get a ping, I get a PM as soon as someone uses this command, so I can very closely monitor that. It's only ever been used once before, to show you how seriously we take this. But that's the sort of thing where if we had people who we can't trust as an admin, that wouldn't be good. And so honesty is a massive thing. Honesty implies trust. Trust implies that you can be around information like that without being a risk to the members here. That's a big thing.
So it's really about making sure that you can trust the people that are here. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Trust the admins. The second thing that I really look for is openness. In life, if you have a problem and you don't talk to people about the problem, then your problem grows into a bigger problem. And then, you put your head in the sand, and then 3 months later, you've got a giant monster looming over you that you can't hide from anymore. And then you come and cry to Simba, 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 terrible things are happening, and please save me, please save me.
There's a monster.
Yeah, like if you had told me about the monster when it was a cute little baby monster, I could have just got rid of it for you. If you told me about the little baby spider in your room before it grew into a massive tarantula, then I could have dealt with it more easily for you. And so openness is a big thing. I require admins to be open. I require admins to be honest. And the third thing is reliability. If you say you are going to do something, do it. Your team is relying on you. If you're saying you're going to host an event 7 p.m. Eastern on a Friday, host your event 7 p.m. Eastern on a Friday. If you can't do that, life happens, no big deal. Then tell your section leader. If you can't get in touch with your section leader, tell me. Tell another senior admin. And that's just about it. Those are the three things I look for. If you are an honest person, if you're an open person, you're reliable, you will be a good admin. And obviously activity. Don't just be here for the silver star. That's not good enough.
And so you will not retain your silver star. I'm so sorry.
Won't have it for long. So as for the actual process, those of you who have ever had an admin trial or applied will know a bit of this. But what we do is we do it in cycles. The cycles last for about 3 months, and they start with an application which is sent out on our various platforms, and the application has some basic info questions to get, for example, what's your previous experience in terms of management, organization stuff? How old are you? What time zone are you in? That kind of thing. Just general stuff. And then on the form, you'll be asked 2 situation questions, they're called. And the situation questions are: something has happened when you're an admin, fairly common situation that you may genuinely come across. We've come across them before. How do you handle them? What do you do if this happens? And those answers form part of a score for you. And there are 2 analysis questions. The analysis questions are designed for me to figure out how you think. Because if I know how you think, I can figure out, well, okay, where's this admin best going to fit?
Where's your best place?
Exactly. Yeah. Are they a leader type, or are they more of a sort of just follow type? And so what happens is your experience question gets scored out of 10. Your activity gets scored out of 10. And then the 2 situations both get scored out of 10, and your 2 analysis questions get scored out of 10. All applications are rated anonymously, and the scores are scaled for each question so that the average score is 5. Once that's done, all of your scores are added up, and that gives you an overall score. Once we've got the overall scores, we order them and give trials to about 2/3 of the people who've applied. It depends a little bit, but we cut off at about 2/3. Everyone who's above the bottom third is potentially going to get a trial. Then Blaze and I go through every single person on that list, and we carefully analyze, what do we know about these people? Do we know any of them personally? Have we seen any warning signs about any of these people? And we also look at people slightly below that cutoff and think, are any of these people we know who we think may still have a chance, but just perhaps aren't very good at writing applications? So once that's all done, we give out admin trial offers to those who we think are worth it, who have scored highly enough. And the trial period then lasts for about 2 months. You get to choose which sections you're going to be part of as a trialist. We ask you to choose about 6 to begin with, and then you're asked to specialize in your favorite 2 or 3. So we like you to get a wider experience, which you can then cut down when you've got more practice. After about 2 weeks, we have a first review where Blaze and I basically look at every trialist and we say, okay, well, of the, 90 trialists that we've got, 30 of them haven't done much at all, so let's get rid of those. And this happens every 2 weeks, usually 3 or 4 times. While we're doing that, no one passes their trial officially, but Blaze and I have a top secret list that we keep. We keep somewhere else, and
secrets.
That list has yeah, maybe one day you'll see. That list has all the people who have shadow passed, which basically means we would pass them if we were going to pass people in real time. So eventually, everyone who's left who hasn't been cut will have shadow passed, and at that point, everyone officially passes. That's the system pretty much from start to end. And obviously, at the end, we have a 2-week break just to sort of recover and get ready for putting out a new application form and such, and then the next cycle begins. That's the process.
If anybody here thought there was some sort of favoritism that went into who got cherry picked for admin work, there is none.
No, it's an algorithm.
Yep. It's an algorithm.
Yep.
And if you don't make it, there's probably a reason why. And if you do, there's probably a reason why.
Yep.
Because I've been asked that question myself, and I'm like, I don't know, man. It's magic. It's JFM. I don't know. And say, don't ask me. I'm the wrong person.
For those who don't know DGB, he applied, I think, in the November cohort, and there were 94 applicants, and DGB was the highest rated applicant. So look at DGB now, senior.
America. I was from America. I represent you, brothers, sisters.
And of course now DGB's senior community manager, leads 1.5, 2 teams. So everyone is given the opportunity to come in and do something incredible. We don't look at a trialist and say, oh, well, they're just a trialist, stick your nose up at them. And we don't know who you are. Genuinely, we do this entirely anonymously. Admittedly, sometimes I can tell who the applicant is based on if they say something particularly personal in their experience section, which is why I look at that last. If they say, oh, I'm an admin on this particular Rainbow Six server, if I know the R6 admins, obviously I know they've already told me that. So I always look at the situations and the analysis, and then I look at the experience.
But if somebody has a recommendation from another admin, but then just absolutely does terribly in the application, I think that's something that people don't understand either.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that is the case. We had applications for strategy admins back in January, February, and there were 12 applicants. Paco very highly rated one of the applicants, and the applicant bombed it completely. 54 applicants in total across that form, across all sections. They finished 50th. So sometimes an admin can get it wrong, and it's not always that the admin got it wrong. Sometimes the person can just be bad at writing applications. It happens, but that's why we try to look at the top 2/3, because we figure if you're good enough to get in the top 2/3, you don't have to be particularly good at writing an application, So, in our DGB, did Voni start as a trialist when you started as a trialist? Voni? Or was she the set before you? I think she may have been the set before you.
Probably, yeah.
So those of you who think, oh, you're not too good at writing applications, but you think you'd be good as an admin, we had a lady apply. It must have been August to be an admin, and lovely lady called Ronnie. Her application was shit. Honestly, it was terrible. she
You looked at it and was like, "This is there's
it
no
was
way."
it was really bad. It was really bad. And I rated her. It's a scale of sort of 1 to 7 we had at the time. Just a very simple thing. This is before we had the current system, and she scored a 5 to 6. 1 is the best and 7's the worst. And I scored her between about 5 and 6. And I was rating it with Blaze, and I was really tired. And we basically said, okay, people between 1 and 3 are automatically getting an offer. 4 and 5 will consider case by case, and 6 and 7 auto reject. And Vonnie was, between 5 and 6. So I said to Blaze, I'm really tired. What do you think? Should we give this person a chance? And Blaze was like, yeah, okay. Like, it's not going to hurt, is it? But Vonnie, she wrecked it. She was amazing, absolutely amazing. So she was, her application was junk, really, honestly. If I'd have been doing it myself, I probably never would have given her a chance. But she took the stuff we were doing on Telegram, and she ran with it. She was amazing, enthusiastic. She's utter nutcase. I love her to bits. She's wonderful person, out of her mind. Wonderful person, super hard worker. Get on well with her, super well. And that's the kind of person who, don't worry if you're bad at application writing, because you will get a chance. People like Vonnie got a chance, and you can prove yourself with that. So don't ever think that, because you didn't do well on the application, that means that you won't become a full CM, or you won't become an SCM. Everyone who's given a trial, we believe can pass, we believe does have the potential, and show us you do. Don't be afraid of applying. Don't be afraid of saying my section leader is wrong because X, Y, Z. Because if you're right, I will side with you and I'll make your section leader change what they do. We have a lot of scope for new trialists to really step up and meet their potential.
Well, okay. Simba, I think we're just out of time. Is there any last thing you would like to say to the community members and the admins that you have here? Just something quick and short before we close out the day.
I think I would just say, obviously, thank you very much. It's really remarkable to me that what we had on RuneScape has turned into what we have today, where I, legitimately spend, my working life on this stuff, meet incredible people from all over the world who do and it's difficult to put into words, but I'm still kind of blown away by it all, honestly. To think thousands of people would spend their days in something that I've created, and that validates everything to me. That makes me think that all of this immense hard work that we put in, that I've put in, that Blaze, all the other admins have put in, is worth it, because we've provided that home to you guys. We've provided there are people who've come to me and they've said, if it wasn't for Furry Valley, I would have killed myself. If it wasn't for the people I've met here, I'd be alone. And that sort of stuff, it hits home. And that's why I'll be forever grateful for the admins here, for the members here, and for everyone who makes Furry Valley what it is. Because it does make a real difference to people's lives. It makes a real difference to my life. And yeah.
So just thank you guys for being here.
Yeah.
Well, all right. This was the episode 7 of the Furry Valley podcast. I thank you so much, Simba, for being here. I really appreciate you being open with us and talking with everything today. If you guys will join us next week, 8 p.m. Eastern, you can join us live, listen to the next podcast. I obviously probably won't be hosting, but we will have our beautiful other host, who just happens to be the guest today, Simba, as our host for next week. So please, for everybody out there on the YouTube land that's watching this, like, subscribe, comment, and share this stuff. All right, well, thank you so much, guys, and have a great night.
Take care, guys. Thank you.